Welcome to Rick Rack Ruby. I'm Laura Cluvo. Today we will be making the next design in the Glow Fabric Christmas Ornament Collection. This is the mini winged angel ornament. She's fun and easy, so let's get started. Let's get started by tracing these 3.5-inch circles right around these wreaths in the fabric. Since we're fussy cutting, sometimes, whatever I cut is going to prevent me from using the one that's nearby. So I try to be careful and choose my very favorites. I like to line up the project so that this little bouquet, sometimes it's candy, sometimes it's holly, it can be different things, but there's usually a little floral accent somewhere, and I try to line this up so this will be at the bottom when I fold it over. All right, I'm going to cut these out. Then I've already cut out these 3-inch iron-on interfacing circles. I'm going to cut these out, and then I'm going to center this in the back, on the back of the circle, and iron them. Here we go. I have 3 wreaths cut out, and I'm going to center this on each one, on the back of each one, and press them. This is like a woven interfacing, but it's not important that it's a woven back. I'm going to iron these circles to the back of the wreaths, and I will return. Sometimes when I'm sewing, I kind of lose track of where the bottom, the motif is. So I like to mark that. So I'll use my little silver pen. And I'm just going to kind of put a line here that I want that to be the bottom. For this one, I'm going to use the candies. So right there, I want this to be the bottom. Doesn't have to be perfect. It can be a little off center, that's fine. And then this one, the holly, right there, that to be the bottom. Then I'm going to fold these in half, making sure that that hash mark, that registration mark is approximately in the center. And then I'll pin and stitch all the way around the edge here, the curved edge. I'm not leaving any opening. I'm going to cut the opening later, but I'll just stitch right along the edge of the interfacing and then turn. I've sewn around the edge with white thread. Now I'm going to trim the seam allowance a little bit. And then remember the registration marks there, those little hash marks, they are on the front of the project. So we're going to cut through the front because the face will hide that. So just like that, and I don't want to make this opening too big because my face is so small. Here, it's only this big. So I don't want to be too generous with the opening. But I do want it to be big enough to work it through. Now I'll turn these through to the right side. There's the first one, and this one looks pretty good, so I'm just going to use this one to finish. There's my opening. I don't have to close it or anything. I do want to make sure these corners are pulled all the way out. I use a needle to kind of work that tip all the way out. Now I'll press this flat. There we go. Now I have my Bernina set to a scalloping stitch, and I'm going to do a white scalloping stitch all the way around this rounded edge. There's the stitch, and if your machine doesn't have this exact stitch, it's okay. Do any decorative stitch. It's fine. Okay, now remember this is the front, the side that has this little X cut out, and next I want to find a little embellishment that's going to become her collar. So this will show beneath her chin. This is too small. I think this one would work. Might be a little too big though. But this, actually, I think that would be fine. That would be pretty. But I kind of have my eye on this one. I think this one's going to be perfect. This is a 1-inch lace flower. It could have been white. This happens to be off-white. So I'm going to hot glue this to the front, covering that opening that I made. And it doesn't have to be like this, like halfway on and halfway off. This is designed to show as her collar. So put it kind of low, like that. So I'm going to apply some glue. Actually, I think I'll put some glue on the back of the lace motif. I put the glue on the thickest part of the lace, the densest part. There we go. That looks good. And then before I get too far along, I want to add my hanging loop. I'm going to sew through the wing piece, because I like the hanging loop to be secure to something that's not just glue, right? I can leave my knot up here at the top, or I can pull it down so that it gets trapped between some other layers. Maybe I'll do that this time. I don't think it's a big deal if you have a knot at the top, but whatever you like. Okay, next we're going to glue on her face. This is called a split wren egg, or wren's egg, like the bird, the wren, and it is 7/8 of an inch tall, and it's split. And I've already made the face on this, and to make the Rick Rack Ruby face, just follow the instructions in my Focus on Faces video. Now I'll apply glue to the back, the flat back. I taught a class where we use these for faces, and a couple of the girls actually turned the egg the other way. So this low part, the narrower part, was the chin, and the higher part was the forehead, and that totally makes sense. So if you want to do that, that works too. The halo is a piece of yellow yarn that I've cut with my die cutter. This is the smallest scallop circle from this collection, called Spellbinders Lacy Circles, S4293. And it's the smallest one, which is 1 inch and 5/8. But if you don't want to get this, or you're just not interested, then just cut out a circle that's about 1.5 inches. And this is going to be glued to the back, like this. I think about like that is just right. So I'm going to apply the glue to the back of her head instead of trying to match it up to the proper spot on the circle. I'm just going to apply it to the back of the head and kind of around here. And then when I look at it from the front, I just want sort of an even border around here. The hanging loop goes right in the front, like that, and that looks good. So let's make her hair. I've chosen this sort of a fine fuzzy yarn. It is Angora. It's very thin. So I'm going to do 5 loops on either side and see if that's enough. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5, and that's not enough. Let's do 6. Okay. So I made a figure 8, and then I'm going to go all the way around, take the first half, and tie this off in the center. There we go. And then let's see how this is going to look. We're only doing 1 bundle, only in the front. So that knot goes right at the top, and then this goes down along the sides. That looks like plenty of hair for her. That's going to be just right. So if you have a very fine yarn like this, 6 strands seems to be enough, 6 loops. So I'm going to apply some glue to the top of her head right here at the top, right in front of the cord, right there. And I'm going to press the center of this bundle into the glue. And the glue is at the top of the wood wren egg. It's not to the halo. There's plenty of room on her forehead, you can see, and so just go ahead and glue that to the forehead. And then each side is going to twist back a couple of times, like that, and then be glued to the side of her face. All right, so I'm going to apply some glue right here to the side of her face, and then twist this back and press that into the glue. I like that. I'll apply the glue the same way to the side of the face. That looks good. Now for her halo, I have a little piece of 20 gauge gold wire. It's about 2 inches. And I'm going to shape it into a little U like this and apply some glue to each end. Then I'm going to press those ends with the glue into the sides of the head. Sometimes the halo is above the felt and sometimes the halo is not as tall as the felt. I think either way is fine. There we go. And I like the way this holly sort of forms a little bouquet beneath her chin here, but I think she needs one more little detail right there. These are mini glitter holly stickers. They're from Hobby Lobby and they're small. So here they are compared to the usual ones that I like to feature. And I think that they're just the right size for this project. They're called Glitter Holly with Gemstones. There are only 2 leaves, and I've tried to kind of turn it all different ways, but finally I just have to just put it just like this. Boop, boop. I think that looks the best. And our project is complete. Here's another one. Same idea, a little bit, this wreath print was yellow and this was more pink. And this yarn was a little bit different, but besides that, they are pretty identical. Thank you for watching my tutorial. If you're enjoying my videos, please like, share, and subscribe.